What's happening? Single first in, man. First in. He's ready to go. How's it going, buddy? Good weekend? Man, it's a day of blues. I've been having some big tech issues over the last couple of days. Not with this setup, with other stuff, man. The only thing we can do is play some blues for a few minutes. That's all we need, just to get us going. Suns swept the Nuggets 4-0. They say you gotta come and hang out. Fresh strings on the Delos. And I'm playing blues, what's going on? Shit, what's happening? Man, we need to go high gain. Not that high gain. Whoa, you can't sweep in blues. Man, how's everybody doing? Everybody good? Yeah, okay. Maybe that's my blues fix for the day. Okay, let me check one thing here. So I've got my Delos. I snapped a string live, I think on a Fishman stream, maybe a month or so ago, and I finally got round to restringing it. It's brand new strings. This is like the first time I've played it. And the strings need to be broken in a little bit. Maybe we'll do that today. And this guitar, I mean, it's always... I say this every time I pick it up, it's one of my favorites. Great split. I'm gonna give it some trem just to kind of get those strings moving a little bit. Fresh strings. Oh, yep, there we go. They are a little bit flat already. But I did go with the NYXLs. When's the last time you guys did some guitar restringing? Have you restrung some guitars recently? And this particular guitar is using the HSS set. It's a great set. Really, really dig this set. HSS. Yeah, this is the set that I thought I would like, but even though I always use the humbucker on the neck when I use high gain with a single coil, even when I go much higher gain, more high gain, it works really, really well. Need to do mine. King Octavius, how's it going, bud? But I'm out of town. Oh, mate, you're out of town. What, you're gonna procrastinate? Yeah, I know that feeling, mate. I know that feeling. you've got Acid Sweat. Let's check that out. What we got? It's a... Oh, we gotta make that a little bit smaller. There we go. Jason's on. Jason's doing some cooking. Welcome. Yeah, great guitar. This set also is rocking a 5-way super switch, which is really... It's my first thing I would do. If you get Fishman Fluence, if you have the guitar... If your guitars came with Fishman Fluence already installed, then it's very likely that it's going to be with a 3-way switch. I would definitely check out a 5-way super switch. So you kind of have that traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I personally prefer that. You're still going to get the push-pull for the second profiles. And in this case, we actually have a push-pull as well on the bridge, which really is super cool because it turns this humbucker into a single coil. Yeah, man, we all love the feeling of those new strings, don't we? Yeah. Hey, Chili, what's happening, mate? Yeah, we are rocking the Delos today. I love this guitar. And so just mentioned, it's using a 5-way super switch with the HSS set. This is a classic in gold. Which is a really cool pickup, and these are just your single coils. There's actually 2 different models for the single coils actually, so check that out. And I've recharged this guitar right to the full amount, USB right into the USB charge pack. Hey Troll! The world, yeah, no, right? It was 5-string for about a month, mate. Yeah, it took me like 5 minutes to restring it. Troll, what's up, mate? So, but yeah, it's full of charge. It's got fresh strings. It's got that really, really roasted neck. It's actually 10s as well. Troll's on both platforms today, being a pimp. Really, really cool. So, just super versatile. I know, Chili. I know, right? 10s. I know. I actually put 9s on this guitar, and I don't know if it was just because... I don't know what it was. It just felt really, really light. So I went with 10s, and it felt more at home. It still means like I can't do like crazy bends. On this guitar, it just feels right. Try those single coils. We're gonna put this humbucker on the single coil. Kind of gets that little bit more of a gritty bite sound. You really hear it there when I pull that up. fun. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, so it's like, the way I look at it, nines on a headless guitar actually feel a little bit tighter. They feel a little bit taut. To me, they feel like 9.5 on a regular guitar. And I think it's because if you grab like an Osiris, for example, let me grab that. Oh, we are dragging guitar stands all over the place, wrecking things. So like, you see how the body just a little bit smaller, right? So the body is a little bit smaller. So the string length is a little bit shorter, and that's what kind of makes them a little bit sort of tighter feeling. So like, if I ever pick up a guitar, I've pulled a little bit off the stand actually. If I ever play tens on a headless, that is way too heavy. And a lot of time, I think Keys will ship their headless guitars with tens, and that kind of freaks me out. I'm like, oh, I don't have the finger strength. I don't have that strength. You guys know what I mean by that? Have you ever experienced that? Ooh. King Octavius, 11s on acoustic. Yeah, you know, why not? I use 11s on acoustic. Speaking of acoustic, I've been speaking to a little bit more to the guys at Loudon about building a very special acoustic. I know we had this on the cards about a year ago, and then COVID happened and their backlog and their guitars just went absolutely berserk. But it's back on the cards, and this guitar, we're going to put a very special Fishman preamp in the acoustic. Yeah, dude, like, the only good acoustic that I've ever had in my life is an old Loudon from the early 90s. And sounds great. It's like, put a mic in front of it, boom. The scale is the same, Issy, yes. 25.5. I only play 25.5 scale length, but the body is a little bit shorter, right? So that's what you got to think about. Other parts of the guitar is a bit shorter. Oh, really? That's interesting. That is a good point, Chili. That's a really good point. Really good, because it makes sense. Obviously, a guitar like this that has the strings going right to the end. So if I had nines, you probably just nailed it. Because, well, having said that, I've got nines on my hyperdrive, and that feels fine. I don't know. What springs did I put on this one? Have I got 3 springs? A lot of the time I use 2 springs, so the trem feels a little bit softer to pull as well. So all these different factors, you know, it's like until you play around with it, it's very difficult to kind of to gauge it. You scared to buy a Floyd Rose? I think once you've got it down, it's totally fine, you know. Once you've had your first experience with a Floyd Rose and you've leveled the bridge and all that stuff, you're totally fine. You're gonna be totally fine. You're gonna be all right. I mean, a guitar like this, I mean, I've got to say, restringing this today, it was just a case of like strings straight through there. They come out here, and then when they go up to the top, it's locking tuners. So it's like the whole thing was a complete breeze. And if you want to adjust the claw, it's going to be pretty easy, but I didn't obviously need to adjust that. And with this kind of bridge as well, you know, I did kink a few of the strings. What did I do? I put one of the strings through the wrong part. Silly boy. So I put it through the wrong part and I kind of bent the string in place a little bit. But so I'm kind of expecting if I go crazy on the trem, it might snap, but hey. So that's 4 notes that we're getting. And obviously you can completely choke it out as well. So I think with a trem like this, like the Hipshot trem system, for me, there's more than enough kind of back and forwards. The only thing I like is sometimes on my old guitars, sometimes I used to set the action a little bit lower, and I set it so when I pull it back, it just chokes the strings. It makes like a ridiculous sound. That's one thing that I haven't set my Kiesels up to do. kind of set up just a bit more play anything on them. But the blue RG that I have like has a really low action. So as soon as you kind of go like 3 notes or so or more on the trem, all the strings just hit the frets and it's poof, it goes absolutely berserk. Oh yes, I mean locking tuners on on any guitar, it's like, yeah, makes the restring job so much easier than like, you know, winding the top, pulling it through and all that stuff. You just literally tighten them up, snip them, move on to the next string. So really, really good. Okay, what we got? Strings that have no color marks suck. Oh man, yeah. You know, I use Dodarios, and I've used Dodarios for the longest of time, since I was a kid, in fact. And I still look at the packet and the string just before I restring. It's like, I've done this so many times, I shouldn't really need to reference to the packet, but hey, I'll still do it. I have them, but on my Strat. Okay, cool, cool. Fresh strings on this guitar. Let's get a clean up, something really sparkly. I feel like maybe let's record a little jam track or something live. E minor? I don't know. What keys do you guys... Let me just record something jam track style. Got any good suggestions for what key to record this in? I'll give it a little shot. What's some of your favorite keys? I like keys that have a very nice dissonance with the open strings versus the fretted strings. F sharp minor, B minor, because on a lot of those keys, in E minor, possibly a little bit as well. You know, so for example, like F sharp minor, you really have that nice dissonant, you put it all together. I'm gonna boost my Bogner Harlow a little bit more. As long as it's minor, I like it. Hey, what about the relative majors though? Should we just record right there in F sharp minor? Should we just go for it? Here we go. No relatives. All right, we recorded that. Let's put a little lead line over it. Quite a nice little ditty, I guess. F sharp minor. Okay. Oh, I've got a massive pile of quantize on the arrange page. There we go. That tone is out of this world. Beautiful Kiesel. Thank you, guys. Yeah. It's a Kiesel Delos, really, really nice. I guess last year, everybody went crazy for the black gold combination, right? So, not the most original, but I'm gonna hold that note, just so we know. Never to ever play B flat in F sharp minor ever again. But it was an accident, okay. It was an accident, but yeah. Okay, just hold the note. Every time you're in a sticky situation, don't let that guy get away from you, you know? Don't disguise it. Hang on to it for dear life. But yeah, that was nice, it was good. Hey, I wonder what some cleans would be like. There we go. Oh, man. What note, man? You forgot to turn the mic. What note? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll ignore that B flat earlier. It never happened. It never happened. Your guitar sounds great. What software are you using? Right now, I'm using amps, all Neural DSP. Love the Neural DSP stuff. They do some amazing stuff. In fact, when I say some, they do plenty of amazing stuff. And I actually have a quad cortex that's not in use on this particular stream, but I am working with it. It's sat right under my desk. Let me well, now you guys will know this, no doubt. This is an amazing device. I'm building up some presets because when I use a device, I like to have all my variations. You know, I've dialed in a lot of software based around Neural DSP plugins, and I'm using a little bit of hardware on the front end. So I'm using my favorite compressor pedal with this sound. With the other sounds, I'm using a Horizon Devices Apex preamp. It's called the Apex preamp, right? Precision Drive. Precision Drive. I was using the Apex preamp, which is a fantastic overdrive pedal. But now I am using the BOD Deluxe. But there may be a new kid on the block arriving very soon, so we'll see about that. So I guess it's a complicated one, but it all starts with the amazing Neural DSP amps. Bends, yeah, I mean, it's difficult for me actually because my muscle memory is all geared around 9s on a headless guitar. So suddenly to play 10s on a non-headless guitar, the muscle memory, it's like you have to guesstimate a little bit more. But I love bending. It's like we've actually done lessons on bending on schoolofmcrock.com, where you'd be amazed like the amount of detail like go into bends. It's like once I got started on that lesson, I was like, oh, why didn't we do this one sooner? Wes, good afternoon. This is your YouTube channel, I'm presuming. Western Lawless guitars and gaming. That's a good, solid combination. And hope you are having a good day too, mate. Yes, thank you. That's a good combination. Solid. Solid. I have heard that some guitars actually can tell if the bend is correct by ear. Oh no, 100%. I mean, you know, it's like, especially if there's a track going, you have to be able to tell the bends in tune by ear, because there's so many other things. Your string might be a bit flat, it might be a bit sharp. You know, if you're not using your ears in that situation, you ain't gonna last very long. You know, you go on a stage, you play for 20 minutes, maybe you haven't changed guitars in a while. You're gonna have to make some real-time adjustments using those ears. Bends on an 8 string gonna be crazy. Yeah. I don't know about, I mean, you could bend obviously on an 8 string, but yeah, it's gonna be a different vibe, isn't it? Yeah, 100%. You got to feel for it, you know? And there's nothing worse. I'm very, very sensitive to like over bending and under bending. So let's, I've got a blues track. Let's, what key is this one? Like A. So let's play some bend, let's go into A minor, a pentatonic, and we'll play normally, and then we'll underbend, overbend, and it will just jump out like, oh, somebody's hitting the roof. Just keeping it chilled. Like, I don't want to underbend because I know it's going to sound awful, but we're going to do it. Just wait for it. That one very thin. I know what I did. on my last stream, I guess I left this FS6 interesting sound. Yeah, that was my like lo-fi sound that was kicking in. But I guess I left the battery, like there's no power supply for this, so it's like you have to make sure you unplug it. And I guess it just ended its life live. And I used this for like assigning to different effects when required. But now I'm not assigning it to anything. So that was the sound of it going into lo-fi mode. I wish that had a power supply input. Why not? Now I'm gonna have to remember every stream to disconnect the FS. All right, let's get back to low bending, out of tune bending. Are you ready? It's like, it's awful, right? Let's overbend. Oh, even worse. Oh, I can't, oh man. So you gotta use those ears. That's the overbend in a good way. So we go. So I've lifted this. So I've now put this bridge pickup into single coil mode. Going bluesy today, troll. How high? We're going back to the countdown. We did so much blues. Man, it's the most blues I've ever played since I was probably like 10 or something like that. Man, I was in a different zone. I was in a different time zones. Now those bends are lit. Thank you, mate. Well, that's one way of stretching your strings in. Just go for the big, big, big boogie, boogie, boogie bends. I really like that single coil though. That is so good. Like on a guitar that has humbuckers, the fact that we can pull the volume part, we're pushing it down, humbucker sound. Push it up, or pull it up rather. Really, really fun. Funk Diddle. That's a good name. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Let's put the octave on. Hey Michael, how's it going, mate? I'm now in that Delos funky groovy mood. Yeah, really, really like that. And this is, once again, if you're tuning in late, Fishman Classic in the bridge, Fishman single coils in the middle and neck position, 5-way super switch, and the charge battery pack for the Strat style one. This seems to have gone straight into the Delos. So if you have a Kiesel Delos, that should fit just fine. I was thinking one thing. Yeah, I think one thing on the Delos. Yeah, you see, I personally don't mind, but it's a different screw for the humbucker, which just requires a tiny little hole. How's your weekend been, Michael? Are you glad it's Monday and you're doing it all again? Are you doing all right? You're doing good? Yeah, let's try this super wide sound. That almost begs for a wah, doesn't it? A wah and a beat, that's what it needs. I don't remember that, but maybe. You guys like super dry sound like that? I mean, it's like very, it's just completely no reverb, delay, massive chorus on it. You like the wah? Yeah. I'm good, thank you. And like I said, the message, another message. Oh yeah, did get the shirts and pics. Thank you again. Oh, you're welcome. Glad it all arrived good, mate. Troll needs the reverb. I mean, you know, listen, my default clean. That's my default clean. Okay. My second clean, edge clean. Quite a lot of reverb there. But I like to have this super dry contrast thing, you know? What? Kind of like my clean. It's just like, then it becomes all about the picking, the picking and stuff. gone crazy. A shred. You can tell I haven't played since the last stream. Took a day off yesterday, no playing yesterday. And my fingers are like, let's go, let's go. Man, could you make a little lesson right about the slides and not, dude? I could. We actually have a full lesson about sliding, phrasing, all of the emotion. I mean, that stuff there, that was a little bit, you know, OTT. That's me, you know, having a cup of decaf tea, getting hyped up so easily. But there is a lot of ways to express and deliver really cool lines with notes that you already know, with scales that you already know. So yeah. Oof. But one thing, just real quick, since you have asked, like for me, I like to give myself options. One of the recent lessons on schoolofmcrock.com is it talks about different ways of playing pentatonics, different ways of kind of just forcing your fingers to play simple lines in different ways, which leads to really interesting new melodies a lot easier. Because the problem a lot of guitarists do, and myself included, and I always try and push little sort of suggestions to my fingers, and then suddenly something clicks and it's like, oh, that's a new note combination. And then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep that pattern. And then it's just like you've kind of forced your fingers to do something different. Because a lot of people feel like they play the same licks, the same sounds, and they feel like it's very difficult to change. You know, it's very difficult to break out something. You know, you maybe you've played for 5 years or 10 years. Maybe you've played for 15 to 20 years, and the last 10 years your licks are like based around the same feel. So I always try and push myself out of those boundaries, and so those are some of the things that we get into in a very approachable way on School of McRock. But one very simple thing that I like to do is, like, let's say for example we're in D minor or D pentatonic. First of all, I never played this pentatonic like that ever. I would just never do that. But for the sake of this, we're going to use that sort of position. So for example, sliding back with the third, back and forwards with the G versus sliding up with the G. Like a lot of people, like, they don't necessarily think about how are they going to get to the G note. They're just aiming for the G note one way or the other. But it's like just very, very simple things like that can make all the difference in a line, you know? So how are we going to get to that G? Are we going to get to that G note with the first or with the third? We're going to really spend some time just delivering. So, you know, how we're gonna bend. You see right there, it's just a sort of a 20% bend. It's not really bending up to the A note. And that's a different type of bend. When we get to the G, we replace the third with a 1. Are we gonna vibrato straight away? Or are we gonna hold off and then put the vibrato? That time it's one slur as opposed to a different thing, you know? It means different things. Hold it! G. G sharp does not belong in D minor. Unless we're going diminished. We're not going diminished, but you get the idea, right? Man. Listen, guys, I'm all caught up on the chat. That was a good suggestion. A little bit of sort of a mini lesson by Issei over on YouTube. If you have any questions on licks, plain, diminished, yes, diminished, or Fishman Fluence, rocking the classics, HSS set on this Kiesel Delos with the battery pack. If you get any guitar, headless or otherwise, try and get the battery pack. Just add it to your order, and it's worth it. It's like, I have it in one headless guitar only, my HD, and I wish I had it in all of my headless guitars. The batteries on Fishman do last a long time, even if you're like me and you accidentally leave your jack plugged in. But it's nice to have that, you know, just USB charge every couple of months. Forget about the batteries. I like that. Oh my gosh. That's terrible, Michael. Yeah. That's a difficult one, mate. It's very difficult. So yeah, best of luck with that one. And yeah, a lot of love to his family. Man, that must be very difficult. I feel like the frets are a little bit taller on this guitar. And that's why two times I've slid and I've been caught on a note previous. It could be the fact that I'm playing 10s and I'm used to 9s, but I feel like the gold Evo frets versus my normal stainless steel frets and maybe the fret height or the type of frets, I think these are jumbo. And it's not a big problem. I mean, it's something that I would adjust to. But this particular guitar, maybe it's you know, it's not meant for me to go absolutely berserk and shred out of my mind like I have been today with this guitar. But I guess it is like really versatile. I can do like the super shred stuff and you know, a little bit more chilled, bluesy funk stuff as we started off with earlier. And if you're tuning in late, we've played a few blues jams today, which is something that I don't usually do. Yes, jumbo frets, mate. Jumbo. I always go jumbo. The only time I didn't go jumbo on my Kiesel DC 600, I was just trying to try something different. I was like, let's go with medium jumbo. And they're fine. But then I was like, I prefer jumbos. Being introduced into the music industry so young, what are your biggest regrets? I can't really say I have any, you know, because you just never know how life would turn out, you know. And right now, things are good, you know. Got a family, got a studio, doing crazy stuff online every day, silly things online every day. So you just never know. So I try never to think about things that you would potentially regret because you can't change it anyway. So, what's that? Even the Satch story? Nah, no regrets. You know, it is what it is. I don't think Satch probably remembers it. I'm not like, you know, it's a fun YouTube video, but I'm not like crying myself to sleep about the amp blowing up and Satch not stopping. You know, it is what it is, you know. It's fine. Satch is fine. I'm fine. If we saw each other, I'm sure we'd both be fine. Unless I start swinging, of course. You know, then maybe Satch wouldn't be fine. I mean, we'd test Satch's, you know, boxing powers, you know. You've seen YouTubers take on actual boxers. Maybe we need to get guitarists in the ring. Baseball bats, chaos. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? What would we use to take down Satch? Probably a Les Paul. A Les Paul That would take him down. Yeah. Good solid batting machine, that in Les Paul. Not as nimble as a headless, though. Well, I've completely got these strings into... guys, thank you for hanging out today. I'm going to retune my guitar. And if you've got any last final questions, that would be awesome. Fire them into the chat. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, especially Facebook, hit the share button. Share this video to your wall or your page or your timeline even. That would be awesome. You never know. Some like-minded guitar friends of yours might dig the over-the-top shred blues stuff we were messing around with. And give it a like. Oh, Travis, I feel like... Oh, thank you, Michael. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you. He's got the silver surfboard to block any attacks, though. Well, we'll see if, you know, me throwing a... I don't know, like a headless Kiesel his way. Maybe that will puncture that. I met him a few times. He was very nice, but you did get into a bit of an argument with him. Travis, this is something that we need to hear about over on the Discord, okay? I'm going to be on the Discord right after this stream. You can join for free, McRocklin.com/Discord, DISCORD. You know how to spell Discord, right? And it's a great guitar community. I'm there all the time. So yeah, we got to hear about that. McRocklin.com/Discord. It's a great guitar community, and we've got some amazing guys over there, and it's on every device that I own. My phones, tablets, all the computers. I'm there all the time, so yeah, we are going to continue this Satch thing over on Discord, no doubt. Yes, different ways to take down big guitarists. Yeah, yeah, this could get violent very quickly. But on that note, before it does get too violent, what is that? Violent even. I'm gonna be streaming in 4 hours on Twitch, on my Twitch channel. A little bit of Shred Club action. It's quite a different live stream to what you're watching right here. It's very different, a little bit more upbeat. The link expired? Travis, it should never expire. Let me check that out. Let me check that out real quick. No, it shouldn't have expired. I'll put it in the chat, Travis. You ready? It looks like it's still just fine. Try this, bud. Try that, bud. That should get you straight in. You're in? You're in! There we go. Oof. Awesome. Yes, so McRocklin.com/Discord. And that will bring you straight through to the Discord. Awesome community. Good afternoon, Dennis. We are just wrapping up, so you've tuned in late on Facebook, I'm afraid. But don't fret. As soon as I end this video, you can watch it all back and see all the antics that we got up over the last hour. Yeah, there's been some interesting shred jams today. Let's just put it that way. So anyway, you guys take care for now. Have a great week. I'll see you in a couple hours time on my Twitch channel. And thanks for hanging out, everybody, and all the questions as always. Great to see so many familiar faces. You guys take care, and I'll see you very soon. Cheers, everybody. Bye. Ooh.